This video is about Black Widow, the Natasha Romanova version, a Marvel Comics female superhero, although initially she was a villain. After the first few recent comic book covers shown in this video, Black Widow is shown on a mostly chronological series of comic book covers from 1964 on through to 2025. As the covers go by, lots of fascinating information is provided, including origin and history information, but may or may not correspond with the specific cover being shown. Natasha Romanova was the first character to use the name Black Widow in modern mainstream Marvel Comics. She was created by editor Stan Lee, scripter Don Rico, and artist Don Heck, and made her first appearance as an enemy of Iron Man in Tales of Suspense No. 52 in 1964, which is the cover shown here. She was portrayed as a seductress who was spying on Tony Stark, also known as Iron Man, for the Soviet government. She was infatuated with Tony Stark's looks and wealth and easily distracted by jewelry. Initially, she dressed glamorously and soon was wearing a costume. She underwent a full costume redesign in The Amazing Spider-Man number 86 in 1970 and was given the black costume and long red hair that she has subsequently been identified with. The redesign was by John Romita Sr. and based on the costume of a much earlier character, Miss Fury, shown here on the cover of Miss Fury number 2, published in 1943 by Timely Comics, now known as Marvel Comics. Videos about Miss Fury can be found in the Comic Excitement Convention Miss Fury playlist. Also, in 1970, Black Widow started being featured in Amazing Adventures along with the Inhumans. The first issues were written by Gary Friedrich and illustrated by Gene Colan and were about political issues. Writers Roy Thomas and then Gene Conway moved it away from politics in favor of melodrama. The Inhumans took over the entire comic book after issue number 8. Gene Conway was the writer for the Daredevil comic book and introduced Black Widow in Daredevil number 81 in 1971 as a supporting character and established a romance between her and Daredevil as a way to re-energize the title. Gene Colan illustrated the series with drawings of Black Widow that emphasized her acrobatics and long red hair. Later, she appeared in a variety of comic book titles, including multiple volumes of her own title. As to Black Widow's personal history, Natasha Eleonova Romanova was born in Russia. She was thrown from a burning building in Stalingrad as an infant, where she was found and raised by soldier Ivan Petrovich. The Hand attempts to kidnap and brainwash her in 1941, but she is rescued by Captain America and Wolverine. Natasha marries Alexei Shostakov, but the KGB fakes his death to motivate Natasha to become a spy. She is trained in a Soviet spy facility, the Red Room, where she is augmented through biotechnology. The process brings her body to its physical peak and slows cellular degeneration, enabling her to remain young and at her prime for decades. The training program also gives her false memories, leading her to believe that she had previously been a ballerina. She was selected from the participants in the training program to become a spy and receives the codename Black Widow. Natasha goes to the United States to seduce Iron Man and later to fight the Avengers. After she stops cooperating, she is brainwashed by the Soviet government until her love for Hawkeye breaks through and causes her to reform. Although she considers joining the Avengers, she is not immediately trusted by the team. Natasha begins working with the intelligence agency S.H.I.E.L.D. and appears to betray the Avengers when she works as a double agent for the agency, causing her relationship with Hawkeye to end. Natasha becomes an independent crime fighter until she begins a relationship with Daredevil. After She is framed for murder and clears her name. Natasha moves in with Daredevil in San Francisco. She eventually leaves him and spends time alone in San Francisco in severe poverty. Natasha then becomes a Russian language instructor at UCLA and joins the short-lived superhero team, the Champions, who appoint her as a team leader. After the Champions disband, Natasha encounters the Hand, who poison her. Natasha dies as she reaches Daredevil to ask him for help, but one of his allies, Stone of the Chaste, brings her back to life. The KGB forces Natasha to work for them again by creating a life model decoy of her deceased husband, acting as if he had survived and is being held hostage. She again worked for the KGB unwillingly when she discovered that she was a sleeper agent who had been programmed to obey upon activation. After many instances of joining and leaving, Natasha becomes the leader of the Avengers after most members are seemingly killed by Onslaught. But considering herself the last Avenger, she teams up with Daredevil to hurt the Avengers' enemies. Still feeling guilty for their failure, she chooses not to rejoin as a long-term member when the Avengers returned. While tracking a biotoxin, Natasha comes into conflict with another Black Widow, Yelena Belova, and both try to prove themselves as worthy of the title. Afterward, Natasha learns that there were many Black Widows and that the KGB had implanted false memories in her about her life before she was a spy. As Norman Osborn takes power over S.H.I.E.L.D's successor organization, Hammer, Natasha disguises herself as Yelena on the orders of Nick Fury to infiltrate Osborn's Thunderbolts team. This Nick Fury is discovered to be a life model decoy created by Osborn, and Natasha escapes to help Maria Hill revive Tony Stark, who had previously wiped his own mind. When Tony Stark becomes director of S.H.I.E.L.D., Black Widow operates alongside Bucky Barnes as he becomes the new Captain America. When Hydra is in control of the American government, Black Widow is killed by an alternate version of Captain America working for Hydra. She is then reborn as a clone in a new red room, retaining all of her previous memories up to her death. Natasha spends a period of time brainwashed into believing that she lived a domestic life with a fiancé and a son. After recovering, she discovers and bonds with a symbiote in a alchem lab. After this, Black Widow's adventures continue. As to her personality, Black Widow seeks to right the wrongs that she committed earlier in life. Despite this, she is more willing to kill adversaries than other superheroes, and has been described as emotionally cold since her first appearance. She is naturally independent and capably works alone. Black Widow is confident in her physical attractiveness and is willing to use it to her advantage. Black Widow was not well known in popular culture until she appeared in the Iron Man 2 movie released in 2010. After this, the character developed a strong fan base and became a focal point for calls of greater prominence of female comic book characters. Scarlett Johansson has portrayed Black Widow in many live-action movies, starting with Iron Man 2 in 2010 on through to Black Widow in 2021. In the near future, do you want a new live-action movie made about Black Widow? If so, do you want Scarlett Johansson or another actress cast as Black Widow? Are there any co-stars that you want in the movie, including villains? And if so, who? Do you have any movie plot ideas? More videos like this one, short and longer, can be viewed at the Comic Excitement Convention Female Superhero Hero Playlist. Please like, comment, subscribe, and click the notifications bell.